hello. What are we doing? Here's what I'm doing. I got an old chainsaw blade and I'm going to wrap it up like that, forge it down and make a knife out of it. I probably should do some research before I do this, but I'm just going to jump right in. Zoom in. I probably should have worked on maybe getting a little tighter packed together, but whatever, it'll work. 4x 20-minute mule. I'm waiting until I see some little sparklers coming out of here, and then I'll go with just some gentle taps. It'll probably go butts in, put it straight back in there. Oh yeah, baby. I'm not gonna. That's gonna be it. Shit, I've just burnt the seat. That's gonna be it for that one. Get all that crap off there. I'm gonna have to come back the other way on it this next time. I got a big old gap in the middle, which I've got to sort out. And actually, I'm not hitting it hard right now because I can see all kinds of gaps in there. Put that on there because I'm burning up my seat. What I may do is come on the diagonal actually. Just leave that fire going. Get that out there without completely destroying the fire. Well, I'm recording again. Unfortunately, the blower on the forge went out. I think it's a capacitor. The capacitor on it's just gone. So that's obviously what's gone wrong with it. It just slowly died. You know. Anyway, so I got this one out, and unfortunately, what you didn't see, because I ran out of battery, I got that forge welded all the way along, and then I bent back in about a third of the way, and I forge welded that, and then I bent it back round the opposite direction, like you'd fold a letter, and I was about to forge weld that spot when it went out. So anyway, it's in this fire now, and I've already had a couple of goes on it, and I'm hoping it's welded, but this fire don't get it very hot, so every heat I'm getting it, before I even mess with it, hitting it, I'm getting it as hot as I possibly can in here, and hopefully it'll be alright. But I mean, I have forge welded it with it before, an odd horseshoe, you know, when we're making bar shoes or whatever, but this thing really doesn't get hot enough. It's only a single burner, and no forced air, no nothing. Yeah. Alright, back again. Oh, bloody hell. Hang on. That's what we've ended up with. I don't know if I kind of like the banana shape. And of course, it's pretty short. That's what we've ended up with. It's fairly straight. It's not perfect by any means. What I'm going to do now is let's stick the grinder on it and see what happens. Oh, my screen went blank and I don't know if that was recording or not, but anyway, this is the rough grind. That's good. Getting the light on it there. You can see the imperfections that are that is not really an imperfection. That is just probably where there was a piece of scale on there and I've pounded it in there with the hammer. Not really very good. And the same here. And the same here. Now, a couple of them, they will be reduced when I do the final grind, I'm guessing. That's what it looks like right now. Let's have a look at the straightness. It's not very straight, I don't think. Well, it's not bad, but it's not perfect. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to drill some holes for a handle, go and figure some handle material out. And I got a visitor. Hello, Will. Hi. And then what am I going to do? I am going to what am I going to do, Will?
Oh, that's your knife.
Don't touch it, it's hot.
Yeah, you should make a handle for it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Good thinking, Will.
For it, so
and I'm going to grind this as well, and I might have to take a file to it, I think.
Are you going to clean it?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So first of all, here's an update. I've just been filing it for about 15 minutes now, and you can kind of see how much better that's looking. So much more control with the file. Of course, if I had a belt sander, it would be on there, but I don't have a flipping belt sander. And quite honestly, I don't really want to overdo how much more I take off of this, because I've got an inkling feeling that it's gonna go all over the place when I heat this dang thing up. I mean, literally, it's getting to the point where it's probably a bit thin. Right. I don't even know where I got to tell you the truth. I was trying to explain it last night and then the bloody thing ran out. So I guess I'll just start afresh this morning. Oh dear, I've been up for 2 hours and I'm still not awake. Right. Oh, let's have a look what we've got. This is the easiest way of doing things. I just pull this in here so the dogs wouldn't drag it off and chew it up. Right. First thing on the list is we need to get this thing. I filed it and I've basically just hand filed it, and I need to put a handle on it. I found this thing in this. I wish I'd remembered about this thing before I started filing everything, because I could have whacked that on there. God knows how though I would have held it, but because it's so thin. But I could have whacked it on there and got a bit of sanding action on there instead of hand file it. But I may or may not have already said this in a previous thing. The hand file that I used, just this thing, cheapy. You could probably get this for a couple of dollars from off Amazon. This came in a pack of 7 different files. I think it might even be more than 7 files, or $7, something like that. Dirt cheap, and it did a great job. A lot more control than, well, of course, a lot more control than the angle grinder, but anyway. So, plan for today. I want to heat treat this thing. Once I get that done, I'll go to cleaning it up again, and then it's going to go in the oven for I don't know how long, and I don't know what setting I'm going to put it on. Probably 475 for a couple of 3 hours, couple hours at least. In the interim of last night and not videoing any of this, what have I done? Well, here's what I've done. Let's look at this now. I found some copper wire, real thick copper wire. This is for running to your, from your box down to your ground rod. God knows what gauge it is, but it's got to be at least 1/4 inch diameter. Anyway, I got 3 pieces of that cleaned up. This stuff is pretty stout. I could probably bend it, but the chances of really bending it once it's inside of the handle is going to be probably nil. What have I done with the handle? Let's look what we've done with the handle. So of course the tang on this thing is a bit short and is also a bit narrow, so I'm going to widen it out with wood when I do the handle. So I've just got this piece here as a piece of filler material to bring my thickness up. It was either that or start bloody chiseling out material out of the 2 blocks for that to fit in, and I just was like, oh, I don't want to be messing with chiseling stuff. So I'm hoping that ain't going to be a big gap there when I get down to, does look like a bit of a gap there now looking at it. Anyway, I've got a little bit more sanding to do on that. And then of course this block will sit on top, and it'll be a little sandwich of the blade inside there, and we'll bring the blade down to where it needs to be. I'm going to drill the holes, pin it in the flat, and then I'm just going to shape it. I'm not going to mess with if I had a bandsaw or something, I would probably shape the top of it, and I might just, I don't know, I'm going to drill the holes first for the pins, and once I got the holes drilled, then I may come back in and put a slight shape on it. I think I had drawn on here somewhere what kind of shape I wanted. Yes, there it is. This will give you a rough idea of what I'm aiming for. So I'm looking through the camera here. Hopefully this wind ain't messing it up, but anyway, that's the kind of shape handle I'm looking for. And we're going to put a pin here, a pin in the in the tang here and here, so they're kind of evenly spaced. The only problem with that is I've not really decided on the length of the handle that I want to. I'm thinking that will be good right there, but I also thought, well, it might be good having just a slightly longer handle. I don't know, I think about the same length or just slightly longer than the blade will be fine. Anyway, what a lot of waffle. That's probably flipping 10 minutes there now. Anyway, the plan of action is drill the holes, heat treat the blade, then I can get to clean the blade back up, and then I can stick it in the oven to temper, and then once all that's done I can glue everything together, and then I can shape the handle, and then it'll be done. So today this should get done, and yeah, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to go and drill some holes and we'll go from there. Alright. Right, bought a micrometer the other day. That was handy. That just confirmed that what I just eyeballed was going to work, or at least should work in theory. Oh dear. I'm just going to drill the holes. Of course, don't run your finger on the back side of there. I'll get the file on that later. Gosh, I gotta look through the bloody thing to make sure I'm getting a. Yeah, yet again, you can't really see that. But anyway, yes, I know they're towards the bottom of the tang, but we want it kind of looking like they're in the middle of the handle. Anyway, you get the idea. I'll drill this one here. Probably. Well, I ought to check it, make sure the pin goes in there first, I suppose. Oh yeah, and I think that's probably good, because once you get, look at that, that's probably good. So there's actually quite a bit of slop in there, but That's going to be filled up with glue. That is going to be filled up with glue. Don't think we'll need any more. Anyway, I'm going to put this on here and drill this one, and then I'm done. So I'll see you in a minute. Back at. Oh, you know what I've got to do next? Lay them other two handles on here. I'll just clamp them together and just drill all the way through. And maybe I might find a slightly smaller drill bit, because that is, I mean, yeah, I think I will find a slightly smaller drill bit for the wood part. Yeah, I think I will. Alright, talk to you in a bit. Bye! Alright, here's what I've got. I've just put it in my clamp, and it's handy. These two pieces of wood are the same size here, and I think I can just hold this in tight, drill the hole, drill that other hole, drill that hole, and then go get my other piece of wood and flip it over and do the same thing. So I ain't going to show drilling the holes, of course. It is what it is. It's just drill the bloody holes and be done. So anyway, that's how I'm doing it. I'm just going to hold it on there by hand and hope it don't move. So anyway, wish me luck. Bye. Okay, got those holes drilled. Well, you can just about see the pins. Now I got to flip it over and do the other side, and then hope they all line up. I think I just did about half an hour worth of recording. I've got to edit out. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, done the other half. Here we go. It's pinned up. I haven't pushed that pin all the way through. It is in there somewhat. There it is. That's what it's going to look like. That's how much jiggle there is. There is a little bit of jiggle. Not much movement though, really. But I think I'm really going to need that. It's pretty tight pushing them together. I had to smack it a couple of times, so that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look alright, isn't it? Now I just got to, I could probably take the, now I've got it like this, I could probably take and cut off what I want off the back of that, which is, I've got a mark here, so I can get rid of that excess. That'll be a little bit more less shite on there. And then, yeah, I don't know, when I clamp it up, hopefully most of that gap will squeeze out of there. I don't know, I may have a little bit more sanding on it. Try and get a little tighter fit, but there might be a piece of shite or something sticking in there that's stopping it coming together. I'll put the clamps to it and it'll probably come up tight. So anyway, next job. What is the next job? Next job is heat treat. Let's go heat treat. Yeah. I need to find a container with some oil in it, really. Just took a look at this with the file, and I think I've got a problem. That's not hard. It's harder than it was. I can definitely tell that, and especially as you get towards that end there, that's real hard there. It's kind of skating. I'm going to try that again. It's going to be a take 2, and I'm going to quench it in water this time. And ain't going to be nothing on the back of that, and I'm just going to quench it in water and we'll see what happens. Darn it, is the answer to that. Anyway, it's got to be redone, because I'm not happy with that. That's not hard enough. And if you want to see a comparison, okay, I can't do this and look at the thing at the same time. I'll come around the back. That is the comparison there. Just even listen to it. This is what everybody goes on about anyway. And then you can just hear it biting. It's not... Boy, I could probably get away with it. But, you know, it should... you know... Just even listen to the sound of it. When you get up to the top there, you can tell that's getting harder. Just by the sound of it, really. I don't know. Maybe that sounds stupid. Alright, well, I'm going to reheat it and we'll go on. See if we can't do this again. You find a bucket of water. got my metal bucket somewhere. I'll heat that up a bit and get it warmed up with a couple of bits of rebar. There we get ready for it. I'm not even going to test it this time. Right, she's bent, and I knew she was bending. What I'll do is when I temper that, we may be able to get that back straight. Yeah, definitely bent this time. Don't know if you can see that, look at the curve in it. There's no way I'll probably be able to straighten that. Not without heating it up again. Ugh. If we turn the scale before I get done, let's see. Ah! Well, I'll tell you what, that feels the same as, well, it feels, again, the end feels pretty decent. I'd say that's skating now. It is catching it a little bit there still. There's definitely a difference in sound there now. Here, listen to this. It's not 100, I wouldn't call that rock hard, but it is kind of cleaning it up a bit, but it's just the scale coming off. I can definitely tell it's not digging in, it's not biting as much as it was. That's going to have to do. I'm going to temper it. If I temper it, then there's a good chance I can just very carefully, I'm probably right up in the camera, there's a good chance I can just straighten that once it's tempered. Very carefully with a hammer. And we'll see. Well, it can only break, can't it? But that's definitely... trying to give a demonstration of... I mean, it is... You need a comparison. Here's a piece of stick, mild stuff. Right. One more look at this. This is definitely going to skate, because this is rock hard, this bloody file. And if I drop that file on the floor, it's liable to break. Here's something soft. You can just sort of, it's a more high pitched sort of a, I don't know what this, you know, it's just that sort of high pitched sound. It, you know, anyway, it's good enough. Marginally better than it was with the oil anyway, so I think that'll be alright. It's going in the oven now. I'm not showing putting it in the oven now. It's just going to go in there. Recording. Alright, I'm back. Here's what I'm doing. Sharpening. Well, not sharpening, cleaning. Okay. Really don't know where I've got to in this video. That old belt grinder there, I just sat on top of here, on top of the anvil, clamped it on, and I just took all the scale off with it, because it's got a really coarse blade on it. Belt. So I couldn't really do too much with it. Plus it's also really awkward to get anything up close to it, just because of the way the belt is. So anyway, I cleaned the worst of the scale back off after heat treat. Oh, that's what I didn't do. Didn't talk to you about heat treat. Put it in the oven for 2 hours, then let it cool off, and I put it in 460. And here it is. Now, I had a bend in it. I don't know if I showed you the bend or not, I can't remember. But anyway, I did have a bend in it. Now, it is a little bit, if you looked right at the tip there, you can see the tip. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of that. The tip does bend off to this way a bit. But I did have a big, it was pretty well bowed when it came out. And I still have a spot here that I've been unable to file sand out of there. That was cupped back up this way, so it was kind of cupped like this. And anyway, I was able to get a bit of it with that belt grinder there. The other thing I did is I put a couple of pieces of wood on here and smacked it with the hammer a couple of times. Well, a lot of times actually. Not too hard, just gently enough. I didn't want to break it, but I've managed to get most of that bow out of it. I can, you know, when I look down it, and actually when you look down it on the camera, that's it straight on now, I can still see a bit of a bow. And like I said, the end is not, that end needs filed back a little bit further this way, but other than that, it looks pretty nice. I'm really digging just doing this by hand actually. It's taken a little bit of time. Mistakes that I've made so far, right here, look at that. Well, you can't really tell, but I've come up a little bit too close to the spine on that side. This side looks better. Can't get a good angle though. There you go. And let's go back to the other side and you can see where I made my boo-boo. Yeah, anyway, that's what it is. I'm going to carry on doing this a little bit longer. I've got a couple of little spots still that have got some little grind, like the last grit that I did was 80. I'm on 220 now, and then I think I've got a 400 somewhere. I think I've got a 400, and then I'm going to go to, and then the only other thing I've got is a 1500, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's it. Probably looks better on camera than in real life, but still got, this is all messed up still here and here, but I'm just going to put up with it. I'm going to go clean it up and we'll try and do the etch. Alright. Okay. It's in the vinegar. Don't know if you can tell. Oh, Sophie's singing for us. I'm going to bring that to the boil and we'll see what pattern emerges. I just washed it off with soap and water and then just rubbed it again with alcohol. I don't know if that really matters, how if it has to be spotlessly clean or not, but anyway, it is spotlessly clean. Don't know if this is going to mess my pan up, but anyway, well, we'll boil it up and see what happens. Anyway, I'll keep stirring it and put the extractor fan on, so it's going to get noisy, and we'll come back to it in a little bit. Okay guys, it's out of the acid, the vinegar. I guess it is an acid. Let's clean it off. It's just soapy water. Don't want the camera to flip down in there. Oh, right there. Believe it or not, I used that earlier, and that's actually scratched the bloody surface of it back up. So I've got my piece of wet and dry, my 1500, and I guess just run it under some clean water, I suppose. Could do with a light on here, helmet. That might help a little bit. See what we've got. I've cleaned it off. I can feel how rough it is. I've cleaned it off twice already during that process, and it was in there for about 25 minutes. I probably could have got away with less time actually. If I had a bit of nice fine wire wool, I'd probably do that now. But I don't, so I'll just use this. I don't know how much you're supposed to take it down. I guess until you like the look of it. This side wasn't quite such a good pattern. Or maybe didn't need to leave it in there that long. But anyway, finished item. Turn the water off, damn, wasting water. Let's come in. Let's have a little close up. Yeah, there we go. That's one side. And that's the other side. Anyway, now we've got the handle on it. Well, it's all nice and clean. I've got to readjust the handle now because I've done so much grinding on this. I can hear Vader in the background. Don't know if you can hear it on the video. Right, back at it. I'm about to glue this thing up. I'm just going to use this cheapy Gorilla, probably not the best stuff to use, 5-minute epoxy. That's what was on the shelf out there. That's what I'm using. Everything that I've used on this so far is just stuff that I've had laying around. So I've wrapped the blade in some tape, and what I ended up just doing, and you can see that's rough, I just took that grinder, that cutting wheel on it, and I just scuffed up the surface of this. I already cleaned it, and I thought, well, you know what, it's still too polished, if you like, so I've scuffed it pretty decent with that now. I could almost scuff it a bit more, but I'm not going to worry about it. I think that'll be enough for it to bite into, I hope. And with the pins as well. Whoop. Come on, baby. Oh well, this thing don't want to focus now. Anyway, that's better. Right, we'll get to it. I've got some clamps, I've got some kitchen roll. This thing here will do to mix it up. I'll wedge. I'll just split that in half, and I'm going to mix that up, and we'll get to it. Hello. Oh, it rained. That was good. You can see a puddle there, can't you? The rain didn't quite make it in this far into the shop, but it was absolutely. I ran out here last night because I left the knife out here. I ran out and it was absolutely tipping it down. But fortunately, it didn't make it to the knife. I just took the clamps off. Wonderful. We now have some kind of a knife. It's a bit awkward to hold. Maybe we ought to do something about that. I'm going to start shaping this thing. I think what I'm going to do to shape it is I'm going to go. I don't have a bandsaw, and my jigsaw, I know I haven't got a blade that's long enough to cut that. Not that it would do a very good job anyway, because it'd all be bloody coming out there winky wonky as I cut. So what am I going to do? I'm going to grab that chainsaw blade, and I'm going to very carefully get my shape that I want on the bottom of here. I can also whap off the end of this because I've got some marks on here where I want the end of it to be, so I can cut that off. What else can I do on it? And I'll be able to take a little bit of this, but I don't really want to hit these pegs, that's for sure. I think that chainsaw blade had cut through them, but I don't think it'll be a very pleasant experience. Dusty, dusty, dusty. Oh. Oh dear. Right, well, I can hold it now. Surprisingly comfortable. Right, well anyway, you get the picture, don't you? I'll get the, put that on the belt sander, I suppose, and take them bits off. See how easy it's going to be to do with the belt sander. Hang on. Boom! Yes. Here, let me stand behind so I can see better. Show you guys what we got going on. I think I'm about done with shaping that now. It looks pretty decent to me. God knows if that's the right kind of shape for a handle, but it feels alright. You know, with being just a 1/4 inch longer. But having said that, when you look at the length of the blade, I didn't want it to be way out of balance. In fact, it looks about right. But yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Another minute to edit. I should have put the, here's a mistake. What I was wanting to do
was have that handle come down this way, and foolish me, I've took too much out of this back end here. So the issue with it is, if I'd done what I'd planned on doing, which was coming down here, this would have actually curved down a little bit, and then my pins would have been where I wanted them, but I've messed it up now, so I can't do anything about that. The pins are just not in a straight line. I guess if in doubt, what I should have done is just put my pins in a straight line, and they would have looked fine, probably, even if the handle had come down. Mistake. Oh well. Lives and you learn, don't you? Can't get it right all the time. Okay, that is 400 grit? Yeah, 400 grit, and it's plenty smooth enough, I think. Oh, feels really nice. I'm well happy with that, actually. Yeah, only problem is them bloody pins, which I don't know. You'd probably notice if a normal person probably wouldn't notice that straight away. The only issue that I do have is I've got to get a razor or something in there and just clean up that little bit of glue there. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to try and get that out of there. I'm going to go inside and do that. And then I think I'm going to... It was a debate between... For the coating... Actually, I was just going to use boiled linseed oil. But... I don't know. People say things about it, you know, coming out of the wood or whatever, but I don't think I'm that bothered about it. Doing that when it's hot. I don't know. I might use that, the wax stuff I used on the horse. Actually, I probably might use that, because it's got a bit of a darker coloration to it, because I want to make that a little darker anyway. So yeah, I think I'm going to use that. Let's try it out anyway. I'm going to go over there, put that on, and then I'll do the big reveal. Reveal? No. Hello, we're back and we're done. Okay. Finished. Trying to do this on a... I guess I should put it on the anvil and do a little walk round of it, really. There it is. That's it. She's done. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope that'll inspire somebody else to make a knife. Have a go at doing something anyway. What to say about it? That's the nice side of the pattern. That's a not so good side of the pattern, but it's still not bad. And the obvious mistake is the pins. Yeah, I so could easily just put them in line, and I was trying to be clever. Oh well, that didn't work out very well, did it? But other than that, it looks good. I haven't got a... It's not sharp yet. I don't know if you can hear that, but... Put it this way, I wouldn't want to run it across my finger. I wouldn't want to put any pressure on it, but it's not sharp. Sharp enough to cut you, but not slice you. I don't. Anyway. Uh-oh. Sounds like I got issues to sort out. Put some clothes on!